What's up, hoes? Have you ever wanted to play Minecraft in real life? Because that's what this guy did. His name is William Burro H. Schmidt. Schmidt was a gold miner up in the El Paso Mountains of California. However, due to the rugged terrain and his isolated location, there was a dangerous ridge that blocked his path between his mining claims and the smelter who was back in Mojave. Schmidt is quoted saying he would never haul his ore down that back trail using his own two burros. So he came up with the ingenious idea to just straight up dig a hole through the mountain. Schmidt began to work on his tunnel in the year 1900. He dug through solid granite bedrock using only hand tools like a pick, a shovel, and a 4-pound hammer, at least for the initial section. Once he got deep enough in the mountain, he started using dynamite with notoriously short fuses for the majority of the tunnel. The tunnel was about 6 feet tall and 10 feet wide, which is almost as wide as your mother. As expected, this was no easy task, and Schmidt was often injured and even trapped by falling rock, which led him to, in true Minecraft style, eventually installing a minecart to help him haul his ore. Fast forward to the year 1920, 20 years after he started this massive project. A new road was built from Last Chance Canyon to Mojave, which completely eliminated the need for his tunnel. Most people would have thrown in the towel upon hearing this news, but not our boy Schmidt. He claimed to be obsessed with completion of his tunnel and just kept on mining. Eventually, in 1938, after 38 years of mining, Schmidt finally came out the other side. The tunnel ended up being an incredible half a mile long with many twists and turns. Schmidt had dug through nearly 2,500 feet of solid granite, and it was estimated that he had moved 5,800 tons of rock to complete his work. That's equivalent to 46,400,000 cheeseburgers, which is a lot of cheeseburgers. So what did Schmidt do upon completion of his glorious tunnel, his magnum opus? He grabbed himself a hard-earned beer and left. That's right, after all that hard work, he never even ended up using it. He sold it to another miner. Since then, Schmidt's cabin has been largely abandoned and stands as it was in the 1930s, being preserved by the dry climate. A Ripley's Believe It or Not cartoon celebrated the feat, calling him the human mole. You would think the tunnel would be lost to history by this point, but there has been a history of disputes related to the land. The beginning of an ownership dispute between the Bureau of Land Management and Schmidt's heirs. The Bureau of Land Management states that because there's no mining operations in place, they own the tunnel and its associated surrounding land, because it's an unpatented mining claim under the General Mining Act of 1872, which means that all rights reverted to the BLM under the Federal Land Policy and Management Act of 1976. Upon the death of the grandfathered claimant Evelyn A. Seeger, who possessed the claim prior to 1976, according to the dispute, Seeger is claimed by heirs to have maintained the claim legally under the terms of the Mining Act and properly transferred the claim to David Ayers, who was Seeger's caretaker for the last few years of her life. Upon her death, as of 2003, Mr. Ayers and Mr. F. Schmidt claimed to be the legal owners of the mining claim containing the Schmidt Tunnel. The buildings on the site were transferred according to her will to her granddaughter, Cheryl Kelly. The BLM assumed ownership of the buildings by way of publication on an abandonment notice after several attempts to contact then-owner Miss Kelly by BLM personnel, as well as private parties in order to preserve the site failed. Mr. Ayers was offered the opportunity to sign a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with the BLM to be the full-time caretaker of the site. However, Mr. Ayers refused to sign unless he was paid to be the caretaker. Mr. Ayers chose to accept work elsewhere after being told he had no legal right to remain at the site without the signed agreement. Since then, a small group of history buffs and outdoors people, including Friends of Last Chance Canyon, are actively preserving the site. However, ownership disputes of the mining claim and buildings continue to interfere with their efforts, and as a result, Schmidt's cabin has fallen victim to vandalism. Visitors are still able to come and see the historic tunnel and enjoy the scenic views surrounding it. In the end, the tunnel stands as a testament to the human will. Just remember, you too could carve a path through half a mile of solid rock if you're bored enough. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.